Kevin Makwata, how are you, sir? Janub, I see you've landed. Ian Munyiri, how are you? The travel agent. Ndi mulamu papa. Ndi anona kachai hanje. Nyanya kulola mangana kano. Kevin Makwata, I want you to rate my lawyer. Out of 10, where do you think I am? Mavo, how are you, sir, from 256? I count very well. Samuel Owati, I see you, sir. Samuel, we'll talk about that. Light media, I'm doing very well. Kevin Makwata, I was in the same high school with you. Don't you remember? Light media, I'm doing very well. Okay. So I was listening to a song here and I've just realized you guys cannot hear this song. Now, how do I add a song to my stream? Let me see. How do I add a song? So let's say input, audio input, audio input capture, default, you're going to pick okay, let me not mess my stream here. Yeah, let me not do that. No, it's this window. All right, 7 out of 10. Not bad. I'll improve. I want to be 10 out of 10. So what are we building today? Let me see on Discord. We had some interesting ideas here, or two so far. So we have booking ticket for a farm visit. Okay. That can be challenging given that we've not really gotten to the database part, but let's give that a try. So I already have my VS Code open here. You can follow along if you have multiple screens, especially 2 screens. You can just put one to the side. But you can just follow along and then later you practice on your own. We are going to touch on topics we've not covered yet. The purpose of these office hours is for you to get introduced to now, what goes on into building an actual application on actual website. So of course it's going to touch things you don't know yet, and it's very important for you to try and see if you can identify the patterns, so that when you get to those concepts, it becomes easier for you to connect the dots. I think it's a trick we used to use in high school, and pretty much any educator will tell you. For example, if you are covering a certain subject, some people used to go ahead and read an extra chapter ahead, so that when the teacher comes to handle those chapters, you get your aha moments and you get to connect the dots, which makes the entire thing easier for you to learn. Ngoyo, yes. We will work with SQL later on as we proceed, as we advance. Engineer Joe, welcome. So I think if you're here, you already know how to install VS Code. You already know how to open VS Code, and you know how to create a folder. So I'm currently working on Linux. But the equivalent of Linux is just CMD. So it's just to understand which commands you need to use on your Windows, but the basic flow remains the same, just like that. So let's see, you are going to a booking ticket for a farm visit. Okay. So let me just start my readme.md. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and then inside here I'm going to say we are build. Oh my goodness, what did I copy? I don't need all this. So we are creating a booking ticket for a farm visit. Delete all this nonsense. All right. So when you're building actual websites, we use what you call frameworks. By the way, I was reading this post. Up to now, I used to believe this guy means well for the country. I think he still does, but this particular comment has infuriated me. It has made me very angry. I wish I had a direct contact to this guy. Who has direct contact to this guy? I want to talk to him. Mm. um, I believe Kenyans and Africans in general, Ugandans, Nigerians, whatever, any country in Africa, we have experts. We have IT experts. We have people, and I've given you the example of the website I built on my own. For 4 months, I built that website. It's up there. It's exposed to the public in as much as the same, I think Linda Mwananchi website was exposed to the same, threat actors. We call them threat actors, people who might want to hack your website. And I've had 0 incidences since I launched that platform. So for someone to, for a leader who gives me hope to, publicly say that they are outsourcing talents from outside, it infuriates me. It makes me angry. It makes me very angry. Anyway, that's a story for another day. So let me just try to free up resources on my machine. By the way, if you intend to buy a machine for your home office, or if you intend to just do mostly all this from home, I would advise you just buy a desktop. A desktop is just way better because for the same price of getting a laptop. So if you wanted to get, for example, let's see, where's my browser? So if I come here and I say HP ProBook G5 or G6, for example, so let's see who has that laptop. Let's look at this one right here. So if, assuming you had 30,000 and you wanted to buy this laptop, you get Core i5 8th gen, you get 8 GB of RAM, you get 512 GB SSD. It's okay, it will work, but as you run more stuff on your computer, as you run more software development tools, this will become a big problem. But for the same price, if you decided to go for a desktop like the one I'm using, I use a desktop as my primary machine. It has 24 GB of RAM. It's Core i5 11th gen, and it's 512 GB SSD. And for a similar desktop, you can get it at I think around 25,000. So the only disadvantage is you'll need a second monitor, or you need a monitor. But those you can get for like 12,000 Kenya shillings. Sorry. Let me look for my good friend from Uganda. Where is the name? Oh, Mavo. Yeah, sorry. I'm using Kenya shillings. Let me try to use US dollars. This is about 320, if I'm not wrong. 320, I think around 280 US dollars. And then you can get a screen like the screen I have here. Let me see if I can just, like this one. I got this screen for 12,000 Kenya shillings. That's about $100. And for this setup only, I get twice the power I could have gotten from this laptop for around the same amount of money. So that is just a consideration you might want to factor in. Icon, you can know your website has been hacked when you see content you did not put on your website. So for example, if this was my website and I come here, I see it's a different tool, it's a different laptop that I did not add, then that could be a clear indication that it was hacked. Sometimes the website does not load at all. The website doesn't load. Sometimes maybe you have a banner here showing you, hey, your website has been hacked, send us this money, and so on and so forth. So let's see, we are building a website, booking. booking ticket for a farm visit. So we have a farm. We have visitors. Visitors can book visits, and then we can approve visits. Right. What's up? You want to drink tea? So please warm this for me. Sorry? Nope. Warm it. Warm. It's cold. Alright, so to build a website, the way we are taught in school, if you go into any software engineering course, this is what you'll be told. You come here, you create an index.html, and then inside it you create HTML tags. So in my case, I'm just going to say HTML, and then I hit tab. Why are you not working? Why are you not working? Let me close that, and then I hit tab. So inside I will put a heading h1, and then I say which name should we give our farm? Welcome to Medina Farm. Okay, and then you can open this file in your browser. So I'll come here, I will look for the folder desktop 8 hours. We have index.html. It's not opening. Oh yeah, it's open. Oh, why are you opening with this? Why? I need to uninstall this software, by the way. It's interfering with my work. Do you wanna say hi? No. Why? I need to uninstall this software. Local. My goodness. Local. I don't even know how I installed this software, so I don't know how to uninstall it. Anyway, I'll do that later. So let me just... Sorry? Yep. Yes. Let's say Chrome browser. Always open with Chrome. Yeah, and here you have your website. So if you want to add images, for example, let's say we want an image of a cow. So we'll go to pixels. Say cow. Actually, I didn't intend to talk so much on this video, so I don't even know why I'm talking so much. I just need to download, and then we get it, cut, move it to where we want. And then we rename it to cow. Alright, so after that is done, you have to add the image to your website. So we'll come here, say img tab, and then Medina Farm. No, we do not want this image. We have our own image. So we'll say period, the image is there. Uninstall through terminal. Edison, yeah, I can't even remember if I installed it using question mark. Couldn't attend classes. I remember you talking of Nangaria in your video. I'm Karamajong from Uganda. We also eat that food. Okay, nice. I didn't know. I thought it was only the Turkana who eat Nangaria. Anyway, I was actually in I did my class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, class 5. No, wait, class 3, class 4, class 5, class 6, class 7, class 8 in Turkana, Lodwar Mix Primary School. It was actually a boarding school. Interesting stuff. We'll talk about that as we continue. Yeah, and then I went back after high school. At that time, I was repairing motorcycles. So if you have a motorcycle and it has an issue, holla at your boy. Yeah. Anyway, let's not digress. We've added an image to your website, so you'll just come and refresh and the image loads. But this is rarely how websites are built. We don't build it this way. Of course, there's some index.html you'll see, but rarely do we build websites like this. So to build professional websites, we use what we call frameworks. So I'll just try to. So as a similar framework is something like Next.js or Next.js. And then I like to put my browser to the side like so. And then I minimize this. So I put it here. Why am I having trouble seeing these things? My goodness. Alright, so let's just move this to the side. No, let's zoom out. Alright, so let's look at Next.js. So we'll go to Next.js, look at the documentation, see what's happening. No, I don't want to ask AI. I want to read the documentation myself. Resources, documentation. So how do we get started? No, and my goodness, I'm in the wrong documentation. Next.js. What is not happening here? I want to add Next.js. Next.js. Yeah, this is the thing. So get started. So I'll scroll to installing, how to install it, and then you have this option. So in my case, I want to use this npm. So I'll click npm. I'll copy all these, and then I'll paste it here. Actually, don't want to give it another name, so let's just say client. Oh, front end. Let me use a relatable name, front end. I'll click yes, and then it will install. So if you have any question on what we've studied so far up to this point, you can just text in the chats. Desmond is asking if we have started yet. All right. So he'll say yes. I don't even know what I'm saying yes to. Following packages create. Yes. As you can see, this folder has been added here, and it has a bunch of files. Very scary files if you're a beginner, but don't worry about all that. There's only a few files we'll need to bother ourselves with. I did not want to use TypeScript. I wanted to use JavaScript. Let's see. Are we using TypeScript? Oh my goodness, that is TypeScript. So as you can see here, I've just run this command on my terminal. So if you have CMD, you can just run it in CMD. Provided you understand these folders, like your working directory from our CMD class, your working directory. So I have to make a work call while it's installing. I don't know how big one is, so I think one will do. Yeah, one will do. Right. Hey, how long is this thing taking to install? My goodness. So while it's installing, you can also just type Next.js and try to go through the documentation. Try to see if you can identify anything. I've shared the link in the chats for you to do that. Oh yeah, it's done installing. So once it's done, we get the we go to cd my app, but in our case we used front end and not my app. So I'll say cd front end, and then inside front end I will run this command right here. So let me just do that. And then once it's done, you can see you have these two things here. So you can just copy and then open a new tab and then paste, hit enter. Voila, we have our website working. So if you've been following, Desmond, welcome, you are late. So this is the website we have running, but you know, we want our website to be here, so we have to look for this content in the code and change it. So let me go through the files that were created. Sorry. So I'll just go to app, page. This seems to be our page. Yes. This is our page. So let me just minimize this. And then inside the page, as you can see, this is pretty much HTML. And let me tell you, if somebody is trying to teach you HTML, they're lying to you. This thing you just have to learn on your own as you build, because the HTML that you learn is very different from what is used in the real market or in the real world applications. You see, in HTML, you'll never be taught this thing called main, but you'll see it in JavaScript, in JavaScript frameworks. So let's try to customize this website to suit our own. So we'll delete a lot of code blocks here. So I'll get rid of this paragraph. I will also, the image, let me just retain it. We'll change it to our own image. As a matter of fact, here I'll just say cow.png. Deploy now. I will change it to book visit, since we want to book visits. We don't want this documentation thing here, so we'll delete it. Oh no, what did I miss? Let me see. Let me just undo, Control Z. Okay, what are you complaining about? All right, let's see if our changes have been, reflected. So we'll go copy this again and then open a new tab. I think I'll just leave this tab open. I'll not close it. So book visit is there, as we had changed. So we also have to change this. To get started, edit page.tsx file, this file. So let's go back and edit it. So you'll say welcome to Medina Farm. Welcome to Medina Farm. All right, this we want it to be cow.png. Is that how the image is called? So as you can see, as you're making changes, your website will update. It will show you errors if there are any errors. So let's just see what the error is about. Our image is not here. Public. Oh yeah, we have to put our image inside here. So let me just do that. I need to mute this desktop. My goodness. Okay, so where's that image? Where's that cow image? Okay. Desktop 8 hours, front end. So we need to put the image inside here. So let's just download it again. So we'll go to pixels. You're looking for a cow image. All right. Somebody might ask me why I love cows. Actually, my second name, Mbadi, has relationships to... It's related to a cow, a bullfighter actually. On the Luya side, Mbadi is used by both Luo and Luyas. So on the Luya side, it means a bullfighter. So that's why I love cows. Cat, desktop, front end, public, paste it here. All right, let's see if the error is gone. There's still what am I doing wrong? PNG, cow.jpg, not PNG, JPG. So you also have to remove the image down here. We don't need it. What is this error we're getting here? Fail to construct URL, invalid URL, invalid URL. Oh, okay. We can just call our good friend ChatGPT, and then you want to ask it load an image in Next.js. We are using Next.js, remember. So how do you do it? We copy this img thing here. We'll copy it. We'll go back to our code and replace the image thingy here. So let's just align it, and then ours is cow. All right, tab. So let's see if we're still having it. Our image is there. Wonderful. So we have the image, we have welcome to Medina Farm, we have book visit, we have documentation. All right, so what else can we do? Let's see. Welcome to Medina Farm, book visit. What happens when you book visit? It leads to another website. So what we want is when somebody clicks on book visit, we want a pop-up where they can add their name, email, and when they want to visit the farm. And since we have AI, we don't have to type the entire code to do that. If what we can do is we can just copy the entire page, or for example, we can copy we can copy the entire page and say this book visit. So we'll ask ChatGPT, when someone clicks book visit, we want to show a model. It's called a model or a pop-up where they can enter name, email, and date, then submit button, and then we paste it there. But if you notice, like I said in my previous videos, it's also important for you to understand your code. As you can see, I can change this freely, because I know where the code lies. So if I want this to lead to somewhere else, I can just delete this part and say I want you to lead to somastories.app. So somastories.app. So let's go to our page, our website. So when you click on this, as you can see, it's leading to Soma Stories. You can set it to lead. Let me remove this annoying. So you can set it to lead to whatever you want on this part right here. So let me just close that. So if I had a link, for example, Soma Stories, books, self-taught computer science, I copy this, and then I want this button to lead to that website, I can just come here and replace this like so. Honestly, between MySQL and Postgres, I have no idea which one is better. Quite frankly, personally, I've used Postgres my entire life. I've used MySQL briefly when I was working on Postgres websites, but I didn't notice any significant difference. Some people prefer MySQL, some people prefer Postgres. It's just a matter of preference, I guess. So you want that button to lead to this book. So when the button is clicked, it leads directly to our book here. So as you use AI, you also have to understand your code in detail. You understand what goes where. Like if I want to change the width and height of this image, I can just come here, say I want it to be 300, reduce by 200, reduce this one by 100. And then as you can see, it has reduced the size. So let's see what ChatGPT has said. Yeah, there's a bunch of code here. There's return, there's this, my goodness. There's that. Okay, so I'll just copy everything as it has said, and then we replace here. We replace. So let's go to the website and see what's happening. So book a visit. When you click, it shows this. You type name Moses, but again now the name is not visible. Body, and then you select the date you want to visit, and then you say submit. Oh, this is an email. Submit, but nothing has happened. So let's see if we can make some changes here. I want to make this black, so let's go and see. Actually, let me just expand this so that you can see clearly. So you want the hover color to be orange. Let's see what happens with that. Cancel. Oh, now it's red, as you can see. So background black is not really beautiful. Let's change that to something else. Why is this not changing? Let's try blue. So again, we go to our page. Why are you not changing color, my friend? Okay. So that didn't work because there is no blue. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? All right. So what if we want to create animations? What if you want to create animations in here? Want to create an animation of a cow? Is that even possible? I do not know. So for advanced AI stuff, you can use this chat here. It's just like an AI inside your browser. So here I can give it instructions, but remember you still have to know your code. So I'll say so there's this tool called Anima.js that we use to animate things in JavaScript. Yeah, there's quite a lot happening with this website. Anyway, so we go to this and you say create a hero section with an animation of cows walking towards a farm, and then we tell it use Anima.js. So as you can see, you cannot just tell AI to create a beautiful hero page. That is not that will not give you the ultimate result. You have to be very specific. Even you have to tell it the tool to use. So this is actually why if you don't know how to code, you cannot vibe code. It's just that simple. Charles Wesonga, this is Next.js. We are using Next.js. So just give it a second to do its thing. So now this is our front end. We have to get started with our back end because we need somewhere to store our data. So I'll just come to the terminal, and for the back end, I'm going to use this tool called Fast API. I've never used it before. I don't even know how it works. So I've actually used Flask, Django, Spring Boot, very small. So let's go through the documentation. Actually, you can just get it if you come here and say Fast API. So Next.js is a JavaScript framework. Fast API is a Python framework. So we've learned Python here, of course. Write a list, write an if statement, blah blah blah. But that is not how we use Python in real world applications. We use Python, like what you'll see here. So let's go to installation. Pip install Fast API standard. Alright, but I think I'll need to activate a virtual environment. We've not studied that yet, but you look at that later. So Python 3m venv venv. Is that correct? Source. Oh my goodness, I have forgotten how to activate a Python virtual environment. Python 3 v source. How do I activate a virtual environment? My goodness, let me just copy this. Go to the browser. We have so many browsers. Let's close one. Let's close this one and then do Fast API here. Installation. Yes, my good friend ChatGPT, how do I activate this thing? Source I was supposed to do source. That is what I had in mind. So I'll delete everything. Alright, so this means our virtual environment. By the way, if you want to go ahead and learn about virtual environments, I did make a video explaining that. Let me see if I have that here. Oh, I also have videos that explain Git and GitHub. If you want to go ahead and watch those. Alright. So the virtual environment video is in the comments if you want to go ahead and learn more about it. So now that we have that activated, we can go back to Fast API and then run this command right here. So now we are creating our backend. Okay. Thank you. I'll just stop key here. If you also find the concept of front-end and back-end confusing, I did write an article I shared on Discord, the difference between back-end and front-end, what is a full stack application. So you can go ahead and read that after the class. so that you understand what is this backend and front end I'm talking about. And you will see why we need a backend in a second. Where is this? Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, so you can read the article I've shared in the chats. But now our backend is ready, but where is it? Where is it? We need a folder here to store our backend code. So I'll just create a folder here called backend. And let's hover to AI and see what it has done. Oh, you need to install this. So go ahead and install. Let's go back to the terminal. Alright, so what happens next after you've done? Create a file main.py. So we'll copy this. And then inside our code, we'll come here, create a file main.py. Now, I think you now get what I meant when I said the 4 stages of learning or mastery is introduction, confusion, patterns, mastery. So right now, you are in the confusion stage, but you can see some patterns. And the pattern here is this main.py. It's a Python file. So we'll copy the code inside. And if you look at our code, this is basically a function, but it has something on top. This is what we call decorators. We'll get to this when you look at backend stuff in detail. So this is what we call a decorator, but this is just a normal function. We also have a normal function here. It takes these parameters, okay? And then if you notice, we are not calling our functions. It's because we are using a framework. So our framework does some of the heavy lifting for us. That is why using a framework is important when you are building. So after that is done, we can run this command. Alright. Could not find default file to run. Please provide. Oh, I have to be inside the backend. So cd backend. And then I run my code. So I have this thing. So I'll just copy it. Go to the browser. And paste. Yay, our backend is working. So my backend is working here, my front end is working here. Oh, it's not working. Why not working? Let's go and see. So we go to our front end. Are you done? Oh, the AI thing is not done. So we have our backend folder, front end folder. Everything looks nice. Backend is running. So let's see if we can get some data. So we'll explore. So let's go to this item ID 5, some query. Let's go to this. This is the documentation. It just tells you what the API does and everything, what the backend does. So let's close that. Redoc, no. Alright, so let's go back to our code. Items, item ID 5. So if I just want to do items, what do I get? Detail not found. So let's go to our code and say if a user types an item, can we return a list? Let's try and see if we can return a list. Animals. And then at the top, I'm going to say animals. Then we are going to list our animals. Cow. What am I doing? Cow. What am I doing? My goodness. I cannot type. Cow. I'm struggling to see my keyboard here. Dog. Kanyuru. Does anybody know what Kanyuru is? Chicken or hen? Chicken. Chicken. So let's see if we can return this. Return animals. So alright, so let's go to the browser, type items. What do you want? Why can't you just run? Okay, read item. We only want you to return items. Read item. We only want you to return animals. Alright, animals. Oh my goodness, required input null. Okay, so we can take our code, call our good friend ChatGPT, say how can we return list of animals on items. Alright, so to do that, oh, this is what I was missing, the animals thing. Okay, so let's just copy this, paste it here, where here, and try it again. Alright, so we are getting animals: cow, dog, kanyuru, chicken. Okay, so this is actually what we call APIs. If you ever heard of something called an API, that is what an API is. We've just created an API. So instead of animals items, we want animals. So let's go back. We change here to animals. Animals. Yeah, and we get our data. So let's see if the front end is done. This is not the animation I was looking forward to, but well, it's something. It's something. Okay, all right. So book visit is still here, so you'll say book visit. The book visit is so we go back to our front end, and the file is open here, and then you can see what you know, this is called GitHub Copilot. So I'll just say Copilot. When I say Copilot, I mean the AI agent. So keep. All right, so we have the hero section. So okay, so book visit, we want to fetch our API, the list of animals, and display them here. So we will say, we'll go to our browser, this one. So let's go back, just above book visit button, fetch data from this endpoint. Coco Bobo, this is office hours. This is not the main class. This is office hours where we just hang out and type some code, things we do not understand. That's how we ended up here. So the GitHub section is supposed to be on Wednesday. This is office hours. So you'll say fetch it from 127.001.800 animals. By the way, I don't expect you to understand what I'm doing, or you know, like, or thing I'm doing. Just get whatever you can. Just understand the basic workflow of building a website. you have a front end and a back end. Your back end is for creating what we call APIs, and for the back end we can use a whole lot of tools. In our case, we are using this tool called Fast API. You can also use Django or Flask. There are so many. On the front end, we are using a tool called Next.js. So we can use other tools like Vue.js and whatnot, but for now we are using Next.js. So don't beat yourself over it if you are not getting what you're doing. Just try to understand the folder structure here, and then now when we get to that part, you will get your aha moments. You'll connect the dots. So you've just asked Copilot to fetch animals and display. Let's see if that is working okay. So we'll go to our browser. Where is our front end? And it's not fetching. Why are you not fetching? Why are you not fetching? Book a visit? No. Why are you not fetching? Let's see. Let's try to troubleshoot. Oh, the text is black. The text is supposed to be white. So let's try that and see if that changes anything. Nothing. Okay, I think the text is behind the animation. So if we try to remove this animation bit, what is not happening here? So let's go back. Yeah, Gate, you need to pay attention throughout. You just blink for a second, you forget everything. But don't worry, I'll take you guys through the entire project once we are done. So right now, our list is not being displayed. Our list of animals is not being displayed. All right. So this course, this session, this office hours session should have been titled AI assisted development, because that is essentially what we are using. We're not typing out everything, but we are using AI. So we'll just go through all the code as we what do you mean? Our backend is running. Our backend is working okay. So let me just do this. Do curl and paste. So I'll paste this. As you can see, AI is pretty dumb because it can't figure out whether our backend is running. So I have to do that for it. So I'll just say our backend is running okay. I'll paste that. Yep, kidogo. I should have seen this. Oh my goodness, I should have seen this. All right. Port 8,000. So let's go and see our front end. There are still no animals here. What is wrong with this thing? Let me comment out that. Okay, so when you're using an Copilot to code, sometimes the specific model, we call it a model, selected down here, might not be giving you the results that you want. So let me just do this. It might not be giving you the results that you want. So you want to change the model. So you can come here and say, instead of Cloud Sonnet, I want to use Gemini or GPT. GPT is from ChatGPT. So GPT 5.4. and then I'll tell GPT inside this page, copy path, I'll say inside I'm trying to fetch and display animals, but nothing is on the screen. Oh, I can't say nothing, but no animals are being displayed. So first I will need to copy this so that I can confirm our backend is working. Say keep so Ian Munyiri, the best way to follow along this session is, if you're lost, don't say I'm lost, say exactly where you're lost, or ask why are we doing a particular thing. Like for example, these red lines and green lines, if you don't know what they are, you can just say what are those green and red lines. Okay, if you see something and you don't know what it is, the best way to unstuck or to understand it is to type in the charts the exact thing that is confusing. Alright, so I fixed both sides, enable calls in main.py for blah blah, updated page tx to show loading or error states, blah 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 blah. So I'll review whatever AI has written, and if I'm comfortable I'll just say keep. So let's go to our page and see what's happening. Now we have our dogs and animals. So this is basically how front-end and back-end communicates. They communicate using API. Like I've said, not a single project I've seen only has one programming language, especially things to do with web applications. We normally have the web side of things, the front end, and then we have the back end. And in this session, we can see how the back end and front end communicates. So if, for example, I were to shut down my back end, so I'll come to terminal, and then inside my back end, I will Control C. I don't know why this thing is peeling off. Does anybody have a cure for this? It's peeling off, I don't know why. Anyway, so if I were to kill my backend, so my backend is not running anymore. If I go to the browser and refresh, now the animals are not there because my backend is not working. But if I go back and restart my backend, of course I can see. Now if I refresh, I can see my animal. So let's write some documentation. Let's write some documentation so that if we share this code, people will know what to do. So inside readme, I'll come and say to run backend, bash cd backend. We are not using npm in the backend, you stupid AI agent. Sorry. I apologize for my vulgarity. So we'll come and copy this and install it there. But before that, we'll need to activate virtual environment. So copy this, cd backend, copy. Actually, this should be before cd. Once that is done, I want to, where are you? Want to run this. Okay, we type it here, and then we do that. To run front end, cd front end, npm install, npm run dev, done. To access backend, go to your browser browser and type. So the backend is running here. I'll copy and type that, and then we'll say to access front end, to access front end, go and type 3000. No, 3000. My goodness, 3000. You see now how dumb AI is. So let's scroll to the bottom, and then we run our backend again. So assuming you want to change the animals, you can just come here to our list. All right. No. Yes. Yes, I started from scratch, Coco Bobo. And now it's time for breakfast. My wife has made me. What is this, babe? What is this? She's shy, very shy. So I'll reduce the speaking as I eat and type some code. Pretty good. Okay. No. I have to finish this first. Yes, Moas, this is Python and React. So let's say you want to add some animals here. Goats. Then when you come here, we refresh, you can see goats is here. So you want to do something interesting. When somebody hovers on these animals, we want to load and display an image for that animal. So to do that, we'll use a Python dictionary. So you'll copy all this, and then you go to ChatGPT. You say, instead of a list, use a dictionary to list the animals with an image URL for that animal. I'll paste it like so. Yes. Okay. So we copy everything. So tell it we have to look for the images ourselves. So let's go to now these images. A cow. So instead of downloading the image, we are going to copy the URL. So a cow, we go here. Where is copy URL? Share, copy. Let's see. Let it analyze and stuff. Why? Dog, Kenyuru, chicken, snakes. Are you sure cow? We've added the URL. Uh, what do you mean image preview not available? We've loaded the image. So let me try that one more time. Copy image link. Paste it here. Let's try one more time. So to shut down the backend Mavo, I just do Control and C at the same time. So what did I do? I accidentally closed my so to Control C will kill whatever is running. So if I want to kill my front end, I'll go to, let me just do this. I'll go to my front end terminal and say Control C. So my front end is down. If I come here and refresh, as you can see, nothing is working. But if I come here and run it again, which is as shown in the readme, npm run dev, because I've already run these two commands. So I'll just say npm run dev. Oh my goodness, what am I typing? Let me clear. npm run dev. npm run dev. And now it's working. Oh yeah, it's now loading cow but no dog. So let's add the remaining images. Guinea pig. Don't you know what a guinea pig is? My goodness. Oh, this one right here. This cute little guy. Can I get an extra serviette? Just one. Okay. Kipanji ganji bana. Come chini. All right. Are we back? Can somebody confirm if they can hear me? Babe, could you go to my channel uangalie hiyo live kama inaonyesha on your side? Channel, YouTube channel. Yeah, our YouTube channel. For some reason it's oh no, I'm the one. Okay. Let me see what I just did. I'm live. All right. Can you hear me? Babe, can you hear me? All right. I apologize for that. Yeah, technical challenges with electricity. Mas. So where were you? You are trying to add images here. So let's just proceed with that.
There's a problem with your network.
With my network or your network? Chicken. So you want to get chicken. I actually had to restart my machine. So chicken. Did I spell that right? Chicken. Alright, let's get this little guy. Not so little, big guy. And then next we have, okay, let's not work with snakes. Let's try, what else do we have here? Sheep. So let's say sheep. Oh no, I want horses. Horse. Let's get this guy here. Copy image. So now instead of snakes, I will say horse, like so. Then after horse, we have goats. Copy image URL. Then we have goats here. So let's just minimize all these. And then we'll click let's go here, we review what AI has done, accept. Alright, so now that I had to restart my computer, I think I have to fire up my services again. So I'll go to my readme. I read on how to start the backend. So I've already run these commands, so you just have to run these. Then this is already installed, so no need to install again. So I'll just run this like so. I need to activate my virtual environment, so let me do that. Cd dub cd backend. Alright, then I come here, I run my front end. My front end, where I have to cd front end, npm run dev, enter. So my front end is working. We copy it, copy that, then we paste here. I hit enter. Alright, so if I go to dog, I should see dog. If I go to Kanyuru, takes a second to load, but it loads. Chicken, it loads chicken. Horse, it loads horse. Goats, it loads goats. And then we have the book visit button. Alright, so what else can we do to this website? Okay, I'm working with how many browsers? Let me see. Okay, just this one. So book visit. So you can try to find out why this is gray. You can just look for the text book farm visit, and then we look for it up the components page, go to book visits. Book visit right here. So we need to figure out why the text is gray instead of black. So if you can't figure out from all this gibberish, you can just copy this. No, it's actually the model. So this is the model. So we can just copy it. The model up to here. Oh my goodness, I need to copy. I'll go to ChatGPT. Then I'll say, why are the text inside the model gray instead of black? I'll hit enter. Alright, say set the text color, add text block to your inputs. Text black to this class name thingy. So I'll go to my browser. So this class name I'll add here black. Let me see if that has worked. Oh, perfect. See, the color has changed. So I'll add it to all the inputs. Book farm visit. I'll say here I want the text to be black. Black. So AI will detect the changes I want to make, and then it auto suggests. This one is typed by AI, not me. So I'll just do tab. And then I've added another space. So submit is okay. Cancel. Let's also add black here. All right. So yeah, as you can see, oh, this email. Okay, email is fine. So yeah, we have a full functional, not functional. We have something. So we have a website, for animal visit. It has a hero page. This is what you call hero page. When you hover over the animals, it shows you the animals. Goats show goats, dogs show dogs, and then you have book visit. When you click on it, it shows you all the information about whatever. So we can also add a footer to our website, which will have the contact information down here. So to add a footer, we can come here and create a footer component. You see this like hero.tx. Oh my goodness, this one. So we can just create another file, say footer .tsx. We'll see what tsx mean by the way as we continue. So here we'll say use client that, and then I'll just do tab like so. All rights reserved. So I need to import this to our main page here. So I'll come here at the top and say import. We want to import footer from components footer. Oh, why? Let's see. Oh, we need to export it down here. So you'll say export footer. Go back to page. Now the squiggly red warning is gone. So where do you want to put our footer? We want to put it at the bottom. So let me see. So we have the model area. So let's try to put it here. Footer. Let's see if that will work. Why not working? Okay, this is wrong. It's not supposed to be here then. Let me see. Oh, it has to be here. I want to put it there. So let's see if it's visible now. And yeah, there we have our footer, although it's not really what we expected. 2026, my animal app, all rights reserved. So our animal app is called Medina Farm, not animal app. So we'll come back here and say, now we go inside our footer, and instead of my animal app, we say Medina Farm. Medina Farm. Yeah, so should we continue and talk about databases, or we leave it at that? I think we should leave it at that. If we include databases here, we'll confuse people. So let's leave it at that. So what exactly have we done in this session? So we've created a website. This is what we call a full stack website. A full stack website is a website that has both the backend and the front end. Okay, so the backend handles your data. It handles your, for example, we want only certain types of people to log in. Excuse me, we can only allow certain people to log in. Also, our backend is what is giving us all this data. Without the backend, we cannot have all this data. And then we have book visit here. We have book visit here. We have the footer right here. So this is how like a normal web app looks like. If you go to any app, for example, let's say we go to JQuat website. Is that how you spell JQuat? Okay. So like JQuat, for example, we have this user interface, but believe it or not, all this is coming from the backend. This is not, it's not here, it's coming from the backend. The same as a few other information. So let's see if actually their backend is open. Sorry, not really open, but if we can tell which calls are made, which API calls are made. So we'll go to, where should we go to? See all news. I want to see news. Actually they okay, this is actually some pretty good security stuff, because now you cannot see the actual where the backend is, and I think we will also include a course where we learn how to sniff traffic. I hope nobody else is listening to this. I need you to come closer. We will learn how to sniff traffic. So for a website like this, we will dive deeper. We see where is their backend, where is their server, on their server, which vulnerabilities are there, how can we exploit the vulnerabilities that are there on the website. We will talk about all that in this course, computer science course, but I've whispered that, so please don't tell anybody else. Anyway, so yeah, so let's close this. So that is what we've done. Our backend is in this folder, our front end is in this folder. Our front end uses JavaScript. Our backend uses Python. So now you see why it was important to understand these concepts. However, they are different. For example, if you look at this JavaScript code, this is actually a function in JavaScript, okay? Normally, if you want to write a normal JavaScript function, we can just go to ChatGPT and tell it to give us a function. I don't like JavaScript, so I don't even know how to write JavaScript code. So if you say write simple JavaScript code, and I like to use Gemini for study. It's way better than GPT when it comes to studying. So here I'll say, you guys are seeing my history. I don't want you to see what I asked Gemini. So we can say no, we need a function. My goodness. Okay, a function. So you see, when you're learning how to code, this is how you learn how to write a function, a JavaScript function. But as you can see, in the real world, in real applications, that is nowhere near the functions we write. You see, this function is nowhere near this. They don't. Okay, yeah, there are some similarities. Like, for example, let me just copy this. and paste it inside our code. So as you can see, this is what you learned when you're learning about functions. There are similarities, of course. There's the function name called footer, and then there's this parameters. So ours is taking no parameters. There are no parameters to this function. But apart from function, we have this export, default, blah, blah, blah there. So that is why it's important for you to, attend such sessions, because you get to see the real world use case of the languages you use. As well, I've also shown you that in Python, the function looks a little bit different. You are used to writing define, then the function name, give it parameters, then instructions, and then blah, blah, blah. But when you're using a framework to create an application instead of using the language itself, some things we say are abstracted from you. You don't even see them. Like, for example, if you notice, we are not calling any function. You might wonder, okay, when you're teaching functions, you said a function will not run until you call it. Here we are not calling any functions, but our backend is working. It's because the framework we are using, Flask, is abstracting all that from us. Okay, so what we have done here, for example, when we click on book visit, we say Moses Mbadi@gmail.com, and then we say we want to come tomorrow. We say submit. As you can see, that's it. We do not have any way of knowing who has booked the visit, when are they coming. Okay, so this is why it's important to integrate databases, and you can think of databases using this diagram. Let me just get my annotation tool. So in a normal web app, if we did have a web app, so we have the front end. Let me just see if I can get the icon for our website here. So this is our website. Okay, this is Medina Farm website. All right, so it's also called a web app. It's a fancy name for a website that has both the back end and the front end. So when you have a website, you need to have a back end. Okay, and a back end might look like let me see if I can get a back end here. A backend is basically where your logic lies, okay? Where all your logic of the application lies. Like, for example, when somebody books a visit, what should we do with the data? And then the backend, of course, it's just not the code, the function, the Python functions you write. It's actually connected to a database. Yeah, there are certain websites that you cannot inspect at all. They are like super hidden. Requires some pretty heavy IT stuff and cybersecurity knowledge for you to do that. Okay, so our backend will communicate with a database, and then the backend will communicate with the front end. So we get the data from our database, and then we send the data to the front end. Okay, so we've created the backend, the Python functions you saw. We have the front end, the JavaScript code you saw, but you do not have the database. So let's bring in the database aspect. In this case, you are going to use a database called SQLite 3. Believe it or not, this database is on your phone right now. It's pretty much on a lot of apps on your phone. If we can just say which Android apps use SQLite 3. Quite a few messaging apps like WhatsApp uses SQLite 3. That's actually why WhatsApp does not store your messages anywhere in the cloud. If you reinstall your WhatsApp on another phone, you lose all your chats. It's because WhatsApp stores the messages locally on your phone. Telegram also uses SQLite 3 to store messages locally, the same as Firefox, Chrome, Spotify, note-taking apps. Quite a lot of apps use SQLite 3. So let's bring in SQLite 3, and I do not feel like writing some code. I can just come here and find a tutorial. So if I go to what framework are we using? Fast API. I can go to the documentation and find out how to connect it to a database. So deploy, no. SQLite. So let me just search SQLite. Oh yeah, I'll go to SQLite, and then here are the instructions of how to connect it to SQLite. So first you have to install the SQLite plugin, and then this is how you create the models, blah blah blah. Yeah, bunch of code I do not feel like writing. So we can have AI do all this for us as long as we understand what code is written and what changes have been made. So I'll just come here and say let's add SQLite to our first API. So we'll give it a second. Of course, I can make the work easier for it, so I can just come and get started with this command, pip install. So here I'll come to the backend, I'll close it for now, and then I'll run my command. Then SQLite is installed. It's actually called SQL model. It's the specific plugin, it's not the SQLite itself. Mwas, okay. Mwas, I think the knowledge you have, after this we have to, let's meet behind the tent. Poverty is the enemy, right? If you know, you know. So let's see if a word on working with APIs. APIs handle data in different ways. So our API communicates to the backend. What am I doing? Hey, get out of here. Get out of here. So let me just do this. So if you're trying to save data to our database, the command we send to our backend is called a post. If you're trying to update data, the command you send is a put. Okay, is a put. If you're trying to delete data, the command you send is a delete. If you're trying to, what else? Oh my goodness. There are actually a lot. There's also patch. All right. So for your backend to be able to handle data, you need all these commands. So right now, we only have get right here. Get. Oh, I forgot get. Post, put, and get. So get is for literally how it sounds like, is for getting data. So get. Okay, if you're trying to save data. So right now we are only getting data. But when you connect to an actual database, show SQL, whatever, blah, blah. Let me just copy all these. And then, clear. Down here I'm going to paste. That doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. Show SQL alchemy. Something is not right. This is not the correct command. So let me go back. Then, all right. So we'll copy this. Then we tell it we have your output. So the red is what the AI has deleted. The green is what AI has added. The light green is what has remained the same. AI has not deleted or added anything to it. So you can review what has been added, or if the colors are confusing, you can just say keep. We'll just say keep here as well. We'll just say keep here. And then keep, say keep. We'll close this. Alright, you can run the backend normally with fast dev from backend folder after virtual env if you want next steps. Alright, so we have our backend. We can get data, but you need to find a way to post data. So we have get animals, and then the specific ID of that animal, but you don't have post. So let's say create. Okay, so I can just come here and try to do it myself. I can say app get, but man, why write all that? So just say create a post endpoint that will accept animal name. Animal name, where is it? Animal name and image URL. All right, so we let it create. So now we are actually writing a full stack application, and we started from scratch. So if you're still here, congratulations, you're doing wonderful. All right, so we have post. Oh, this is what was deleted. So we have post animals. Why do you need this command again? The root is in place. I'm validating the edited files and doing a quick runtime check so the new endpoint doesn't leave the backend in a broken state. Okay, thank you for being considerate. So we can just do that for you. Let's go back. No, VNV is in here where we are, so it's supposed to be one dot. Let me just assume it's okay, so I'll delete. All right, so we want to save the animals from the front end. Okay, so name and image URL. So from the front end, we can go to this, and then you say inside page.tx. We can say below. Oh, okay. Inside the hero, add a button to save animals. Then the payload should be name and image URL. Let's see how that happens. So we don't want to have our data hard coded in code. You see, if you want to add more animals to your farm, you'll have to come here and add it on this list, on this dictionary right here. So you don't want to do that. Let's do that with code. So as it's doing that, let's just go and see. So the button is not yet there, but our animals are here. Our backend is down. Let's see why our backend is down. Oh, it's not running actually. So cd backend fast API dev. I'm editing backend contract and wiring the hero form into existing animal refresh flow. So now we don't need all this. We delete all this. Oh no, I'll need it to copy paste the data. So as you continue to add more functionalities, as you can see, the code continues to be very complex. This can even get to 800 lines of code. uh, all right. All right, so it's done. You can again review what it has changed because it has added this up to this point. It has also added this, which, base model, blah blah. We'll dive deeper into all this when we get there. So click keep. I can just come here and say keep everything. And then we go to our front end, we see save animal, so we can click on it. We say cow, and then we get the URL for a cow. So let's just get the one we had already saved. So main, I can come here and say I want this image. Come here to the browser, and then I'll copy the URL. I'll say save animal. Animal already exists. Why? Animal seed. Okay, let's just remove everything here. Seed animals. So we can come and tell it, instead of fetching animals from the hard-coded value, if I come to this function right here, where is it? Seed animal, I can see I'm getting existing animal, session, scalar, select animal ID, limit 1. If existing animal is not null, session add. And then I'm picking from that animal dictionary we had written. We don't want this. We want things to come from our code. So we'll say no hard-coded data. All data should be saved and come from a SQLite database. Lil Sam, yes, I have Copilot subscription. That's why I have all these models available. But the free version also comes with a few models for you to use right there. Yo, what do you want? Babe.
Yes.
Nikianza kupapasa huyu kichwa anangorota. Do you see where she is?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, let's try to save the animal. Like, animal already exists. What do you mean? Come on.
Maybe
It's 10.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Let's try to run this. Uploaded. Let's rerun it again. So let's go to the browser, save animal. Animal already exists. I think it had already been saved in the database. Yeah, I think the animal was already saved in the database when we had the dictionary. So let's try with a different animal. Let's try with let's try pixels. Let's try with a cat. We do not have a cat, so let's get this fella. And then right here we'll say cat. Then you say save. Oh yeah, so it saved successfully. So now if you go down here, as you can see, we've added a cat. Okay, now it's picking the wrong image, of course, but why is it picking the wrong image again? Cat. Oh yeah, it's taking some time to load. So as you can see, we can add our animals here instead of adding them inside hard coding. We call it hard coding. Instead of hard coding inside our code, we can add our animals here. So that's it. We've built a full stack web application. I will share this project with you guys so that you can go through it and see what's going on. But like I said, the AI of course will generate the code, but make sure you understand the code. Make sure you own the code. If I come here, I know very well this is the model for creating the animal. We'll get to models when we get there. But this is a class. Remember, we looked at classes. This is a function. I can see this is a list because of these square brackets right here. I can see that is a list. I can see Boolean data type here true, which means allow credentials true. I can also see another function here. Here is another function, a little bit complicated. I don't think we are using any if. Oh, we have an if statement here. You see how if statements are used in the real world. So your work right now is to take everything we've learned, functions, variables, if statements, loops, and look at this project and try to see if you can pick out whatever we've learned. Okay, it could be in a different form from what you've learned. Like I can see here, this is a variable, but you see it's not like name Moses, age 26. No, it's something else, but nonetheless it's a variable. This is a function. It's not taking the normal parameters we looked at, but this is a function. So your work right now is to go through this project. You can go to backend main.py, look at the Python code, identify things that you can remember from the classes we've learned. Consequently, you also need to go through the Java, the front-end part. You can go inside the component. You can go inside the page.tsx. And look at the code. Try to see if you can pick out anything you've learned. Actually, JavaScript is crazy. That's why this will confuse you more than anything else. But just try to read through the code. Try to identify these things. Like what if I say here, what if I type proceed, okay, instead of submit. And then I come here. Now that was inside the book visit. As you can see, it's proceed, not submit anymore. So try to play around, change things, try to see what happens if I delete this file. Okay, what happens if I comment out everything here? If I delete everything, will my front end run? So let me go to my page, and I'm getting errors. Okay, so let's just return the code. You can also go through global CSS, look at it, like so on and so forth. So I've created a README here for you to help you, oh my goodness, where is to run front end? You do this. To run backend, you do this. So the most important bit of this README is this part right here and this part right here. Okay, so this course, this session has been more of AI assisted engineering. Using an AI tool to engineer. You can also try to create it on your own. Try to create the entire platform on your own without using this code and see where you'll get stuck. Yes, so for now I will share this as a compressed file, so you can just download and uncompress and open it in VS Code. On Wednesday we will look at GitHub so that we learn how to collaborate. So I will make some changes, like for example, I want this button to be where is it? I want this button to be pink. So I will ask Moas, can you please make this button pink? So Moas will get the copy of the code on his machine. Moas, I hope you are a he. I'm sorry if I'm using the wrong pronoun. They'll change the button and then they'll submit the changes, and then I'll merge the changes to my changes so that we only have one project. So that is, we'll look at collaboration in the next tutorial, how to collaborate. Yeah, I hope you've had fun. We've actually done quite a lot, and I know you are super confused. But trust me, do go read the code again. Do watch this tutorial again. Watch it even if it's 3 times. I know it's long. This is probably going close to 2 hours, but just watch it alone again in the matatu. People who live along Thika Road, we know we take 2 hours to get to town. That's enough time for you to revise. So You can do that, and then you try to identify the patterns. Lil Sam, don't worry, just watch the video again, and then you'll see how I did this animation. It's actually just a prompt I gave to the AI agent. And if you want to read the code that sort of does the animation inside app, inside components, there's this thing called hero section. Now inside hero section, this is the entire code that does the animation. As you can see, it's 465 lines of code. So I don't expect you to know each line, but at least you can get an idea of how the animation was done. So this is the entire code that powers the animation. All this, of course, I couldn't write all this. Thank God for AI. Yeah, I think that's it for this one. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. I think that's it. What else am I forgetting? Have a good night. Okay, come sleep here. Do you want to sleep? Sleep here. All right. All right, get out of here. Go drink some water. Go pee and sleep.